It's Infinity N5 week, and we have 3 Operation Sandtrap Battle Packs to be won. We will choose 3 winners, one from the comments on our YouTube videos, one from the comments on OnTableTop.com, and one from our Cult of Games members, so you guys get an extra chance to win.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the N5 theme week for Infinity. I'm joined by Killian and Carlos once again, and this time we're going to be taking a look at
it's so shiny.
The N5
in the plastic wrapper
book. Now, are we allowed to open it, or does Killian just have to put his hands on it and try and sense what's
Killian,
like
please.
inside?
Open it.
Here's where I failed to open the thing live on camera.
Oh, that's my
There's a
favorite
little
type.
spot over already.
Oh yes, here we go. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Didn't have to get the teeth involved at all.
You can smell it before anyone else.
Oh, that's good.
Smell the ink.
Smell the ink fresh off the presses. Can I look inside?
Okay, can we listen to the crack?
Oh, look. Look at all this.
Easy, Tiger. So we are going to go through, and you will get to see some of what's inside this lovely book. Not all of it, but we've picked out some highlights to get into. And I don't think that book's leaving Killian's hands. We may have to get a crowbar to prise it out later.
Oh,
on.
there's a painting guide. Oh, yes. Oh, wow, there's a...
He's an easily pleased lad, isn't he?
There's a painting guide for a wrecker in this for 012, and that's good. Oh, wow.
Okay, before we even begin, there are a few things that I must say. M5 is going to be fully digital. Regarding rules and profiles, M5 is totally going to be on a digital PDF file and the Army app that allows you to build your list. So this book that Killian is enjoying like crazy, is all about lore, okay, and artwork and fluff, okay. Is the full narrative experience of Infinity, and is moving the timeline forward more than any other previous book, because we're setting a new horizon here, a new planet, a new status quo for the factions in the human sphere. Also, something that should be mentioned.
Carlos, what the hell is that?
Oh my God! Well, by the way, the reaction is genuine. Killian hasn't seen this. He's opening the book right in front of you.
When you get this, just open it and turn to page 110. Just do that.
They don't have the book yet.
Do nothing
Killian.
else.
This is promotional stuff. By the way, there are 2 factions that do not have a chapter in the book. Hak Islam and Aleph. Okay? They are not having their own episode in the book. That is intentional. We have plans for those factions in the future, colliding with more stuff that is going to happen outside the wargaming sphere even. But I must mention that. So remember, digital, no rules in the book. M5 is pure digital, okay? This is the narrative standpoint and the expansion of the whole human sphere, or the not so human sphere, not so human. And this is the genuine reaction of Killian, which is in his own bubble of space right now.
May have to take the book off him.
With cold dead hands. Jerry, cold dead hands.
I find your offer acceptable.
Okay, that's why we have him. That's why we put him on the screen, because he is reacting genuinely to everything that is going on. So, shall we begin explaining to people some of the M5 highlights, which is what all these videos are about? Mm-hmm. Let's begin with it. Okay, well, we're sharing here a piece of artwork. We are in the not-so-human sphere, but until now, the human sphere is mostly composed by human and a few alien races, but we have to address now that the humanity has survived in a conflict against an alien army, an absolute alien invasion that was perpetrated by the Ur hegemony, the combined army, the evolved intelligence, with races like the Exra, the Morat, and the Shasbasti, and now they have signed like a truce, like a deal, like a temporary status of peace, and combined army has bought itself a seat on the O12 table, really, and they are living together because the evolved intelligence has lost interest on the human sphere since the Cheche digester became a quantum anomaly zone. So Infinity de-escalates the conflict from the horizon of an upcoming total war, absolute nuclear war, like huge scale, to the actual scale that the skirmish game represents, which are tactical hidden operations. Okay, 15 units attacking each other in a high stakes environment, but never going full out scale war. So the setting now collapses again into a tense piece. Okay.
Can we just show this picture?
Yes. Why not?
Look at this.
How can I say no?
Look at this. That is so good. That sums up everything. That's Achilles and Pandora.
Correct.
Oh, that's so good.
Tears of joy. Right here. So Infinity turns down the tension between factions and creates a new horizon, a new theater of operations, so everybody can play the cards and keep on scheming and conspiring and making special operations, which is the kind of fiction that the game represents itself. Okay, so moving on, new planet, the planet Shinju, recently discovered, and that attracts all the factions, obviously. And Pano, as a hyperpower, has obvious intentions of colonize the planet on their way, and they find themselves in a planet that has the not most breathable atmosphere, so harsh conditions, and also fighting against other factions. So adapt and prevail is their motto here, and they have to adapt. And apart from the weather, there are Japanese with swords around, because the JSA now becomes a faction, and the Japanese claim planet Shinju as their own soil, sovereign soil, Japanese soil, and are going to fight every single inch of it. So the discovery conflicts arise, which is obviously going to happen. Okay, now we have this piece of artwork is very revealing here. We have the Amagasa incident, which is a mess of a situation that happens with the Japanese going on. There was a corporation that has military contracts with the JSA army, and a bioweapon totally mishap and created the Amagasa incident, where the Tanuki teams had to intervene in also to control the situation. And if you look at the meaning of Amagasa, and if you look at the meaning of Tanuki, and if you just look on the internet for a few seconds, you realize that there's a whole meta story here going on, because, certain factions have a president and is evil. Sorry about it. Moving on. The strongest commitment, after not being on the spotlight, because right now the spotlight is absolutely focusing on JSA and Pano. Yu Jing feels totally out of the picture. Don't worry, Yu Jing is going to react to not only the way that a new planet is discovered and needs to be colonized, but also the way that JSA seems to have like a role, seems to have their own seat on the table. No, they won't. I mean, no, without Yu Jing reacting to that in the most impetuous way. So it's going to happen. The 3 sectorial armies from Yu Jing stay in M5, and one of them, Imperial Service, is being redesigned as we speak. It's getting new stuff as we speak right now.
I see some new stuff in that picture right there.
Yeah, you can see a new tag with the funniest name you can think of. Please move away.
And is that a vehicle in the background?
That's the Long Wag or the Long Wang, depends on how you translate Dragon King.
Long Wang.
And it's part of the Imperial Service, and it's a tag because Yu Jing has achieved the perfect society, and everybody is living with the most fair distribution of wealth among the population. The working class has plenty of benefits. So sometimes some people do not stand that enormous, glorious wealth and well-being of Yu Jing, that perfect society. And some people sometimes act against it. So the Yu Jing government has no other solution to that. Let's then make some huge armors and put some heavy armor on there just to keep peace.
Imagine like a scrolling propaganda thing just going across the bottom.
They were forced to do that because some people doesn't...
Carlos in a kimono on North Korean television, shouting out loud,
So there was no other solution than to put flying bikes and super heavy armors just to pacify certain areas of the population. Because it's like that. So this is the Long Wang Imperial Tag Police, just to keep peace on the streets. For your safety.
For your safety.
You're much less likely to litter if one
Yeah.
of those is patrolling the area.
The long wang of the law, basically, here.
Yeah.
And if some people is blown into pieces what they were doing at the time of the night in that part of the city. They were putting themselves in danger and they received what the universe has for them. It's just like that. Okay, conductors, Trans-Tartaric Railway troops. I love the design.
Yeah, this is really nice.
We can say that Ariadna is getting new stuff specifically or aiming towards Tartari Army Corps. Okay, so Tartari Army Corps getting new stuff essentially. So this
artwork for this
lovely,
is so good.
lovely. You can see that he has ears of antipodes hanging from that kind of sadistic necklace that the guy is wearing. And keeping with Ariadna and their usual traits, there are pieces of artwork showing Tartari Army Corps units hunting antipodes on the forest of Ariadna, which look very good.
This is beautiful. Look at this. This is a crazy koala for
correct. There's a box coming with a unit that is the Keyboard project and comes with crazy koalas. But this time Corvus Belli decided to make crazy koalas specifically for Ariadna. And they look like this. They are lovely.
I like the fact that somebody probably drew the eyes on as an afterthought. It was just like...
I like to imagine they're just the big googly eyes, the stickers. They've just stuck the two giant googly eye stickers to it.
It's a radio control car or a drone just with a claymore mine in
it's
its
the
mouth.
Death Roomba. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Roomba. Totally.
This is what I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is another atrocity made about Ariadna. I don't know why some people still look at Ariadna as the good guys in the kind of story. After what they made to werewolves, after what they made to a bear, and now they made this to an antipode. This is no moral compass is guiding this faction at all. They are totally doing what they want.
This is Bakunin levels of mad science.
You know the Vikings, that they can do whatever they wanted in history, that they are cool. But while other empires of history, they are like criticized for the moral guidance of their actions. This is Ariadna right now. Ariadna is doing whatever they want and they're cool.
My favorite part is that's not a claymore on the front. That's just directions for whoever's actually unlocking the collar.
Absolutely.
On it. It's just front towards enemy, make sure it's turned in the right direction, and then take the chain off and let it just run.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, they do it. Sometimes we talk about the black laboratories on Praxis. What's going on in the laboratories on Ariadna?
Yeah.
I mean,
Grindhouse horrors? What's going on?
Grindhouse horror, absolutely. Amagasa incident, my ass. Look at this.
Look at this. Look at the pin-up artwork for this is terrifying.
So this is the Kibervolk patrol because having a bear with weapons wasn't scary enough. Now they throw this Frankenstein monster of a wolf.
The face is completely 2000 AD.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
those are not its own teeth. Those teeth have been added by somebody else post. They looked at that and went, not quite frightening enough.
Not quite frightening enough.
Yeah.
Throw some more teeth in there.
Look how happy he is though. It's a hell of a grin.
No, jeez, look at this.
So the whole picture. The whole picture, the adding concepts one over another. So we have two crazy koalas, the Ariadna crazy koalas that are like radio control cars with mines in it, next to an engineer that has like a gizmo kit for some reason on her hand.
Yeah, why not?
And a heavily mutated and intervened werewolf that has a hammer in his hand and a claw on the other hand with a claymore mine on the chest. Are these the good guys?
Yes.
Are these the saviors of humanity or something that were at some point like people, Ariadna is going to save the day against the aliens? I don't think so. Where
are you being deployed, Natasha? Well, I'm being deployed with the Death Roombas and the Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
It's one way to get the aliens to turn around and go back.
Yeah, it's just like, just turn around, go walk through, see this, turn around. Back through the wormhole, lads. No.
I mean, the safest spot in a battlefield is right where she is. I mean, whoever goes towards them will have crazy koalas, and whoever goes towards her cannot stop looking at the giant werewolf with a hammer and claws.
I imagine it's defense in depth there. You've got the massive monstrosity up front, And then behind that are the crazy koalas, because if he gets turned round, you want to put some sort of defensive trench between you and her. Drop mines and buy it.
I don't even know what the
Gizmo
profile for this
says mine crazy
it's going to be
koalas. She's
horrendous.
totally not mentioned in the line.
It's just horrendous.
It's delightful.
Okay,
I can't wait to see the googly eyes on all of the koalas as well.
Moving on, for nomads, Tunguska Triggerman. Okay, this is a new design for obviously for the nomads, because Tunguska is getting stuff. Many people is getting new stuff, new toys. We can see that there are barrel sniper rifle and multi-rifle and multi-pistol, but the final profile might differ from what we're showing you here. This was true at some point. Will it be true past mid-November? We still don't know. What we can see there is that next to the Triggerman, there's something else, something mechanical, something dangerous. So probably we're looking at a unit here with guard, with a creature or a techno thing surrounding the Triggerman. Moving on, this is the GoPoth pilot, but not so much because it's the Sonautica pilot in a certain way. But if we advance this image, we will also see...
Oh, this is the vehicle.
Yeah, this is the GoPoth for the nomads. I guess that the flying vehicle is going to be available for all 3 sectorials. November will confirm on the night this information. But once a certain concept that was announced with M5 is that we're getting vehicles, but vehicles in an infinity way. Because people say, or listens vehicles and begins to think on trucks, on tanks. Tanks are tags in infinity, okay? Getting vehicles, getting more flexible ways of, more vectors of movement. The super jam with retro jets are kind of in that direction. So many factions, Imperial Service are also getting one of these, are getting...
And then this is the artwork.
Yeah, are getting flying bikes in a certain way.
That's so
that
nice.
will improve and add new elements to the battles in Infinity. Yeah, this is the Firebat attack wing. This is 412, Torso Brigade, Firebat. In fact, when we announced Torso Brigade, we mentioned the Firebat in the release schedule, and that shows once again that Torso Brigade was designed at M5 and then translated into M4. So we have a lovely piece of artwork from Chester Ocampo.
Yeah, of course it's Chester.
It's Chester, has to be Chester.
Has to be Chester.
Yeah, and he had to do that without any kind of 3D help, because sometimes with this kind of designs you can also send a 3D render. But Chester was good enough to pull out a good decent rendering. Look at the plates of the armor and look at the gravitational pull of the whole thing. There's a pilot there. Yeah, there's a pilot.
Somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah, in the middle. I was just looking at us like, okay, do you like the Firebat? Yes, we like the Firebat pilot. And we can see here...
Oh, so he's going to flying base?
A miniature. So, yeah, flying base. It's a big miniature. So, it's going to be in quality plastic and flying around. Okay. And this is one of the first flying vehicles that will arrive to Infinity M5. But is flying around, benefits from the M5 rules. The way the M5 rules are written allows these kind of elements to be in the game.
It'll be fascinating to see how that changes up meta as well.
Yeah, because then,
Depends if it can engage or not into close combat. Depends of the kind of silhouette that it uses, to represent its position in the 3D space. There's also the super jump with changing trajectory in the air, or jetpack propulsions, or the way it's labeled. Depends on many rules in order to represent the flying quality of it. Moving on.
Yeah, Team Achilles.
Team Achilles, you already know about this, but not all of you. Hardcore fans follow the dripping information of Corvus Belli. This is one of the highlights of the book. Yes, evil. Achilles has become evil now. In fact, the fluff expands on it.
Which will be in here, hopefully. We'll get rid of that,
Yeah, you will find plenty of fluff also about Pandora, because Pandora has a lot of to say in this situation. In a certain way, and these events began with the previous book, with End's song. Achilles was very frustrated when Patroclus died and was not resurrected by Aleph. And that was an opportunity window for Pandora, who was, since the beginning, conspiring against Aleph. So Pandora convinces Achilles to join the combined army, And as the fluff states, Achilles joins the Combined Army to make sure the Combined Army also behaves properly in the human sphere, as a part of the human sphere. So there are many ways of looking at this situation, but the final outcome is Achilles is no longer in Aleph. Achilles is now in the Combined Army, as well as Pandora, as well as Drakios, as well as Teucro, we say in Spanish Teucro. And seems that Patroclus is resurrected by the Combined Army and not Aleph, which is kind of a big deal. This is the look of
this
Pandora.
Is evil Pandora.
Evil Pandora, I'd say.
Or Pandora as she was all along.
Pandora all along. I love it, yes. Correct. The fluff stays like
Drakios
this is Drakios.
Yes.
This is the new version of Drakios for the Combined Army.
Yeah.
And Teucer that looks incredibly well.
It looks really good.
And the weapon is amazing there.
Is that a plasma sniper rifle?
I guess so.
Oh man.
So it's Teucer shooting plasma now. So expect this and much more stuff happening in the book that also has a few...
So much stuff in here.
Has the last pages a few missions also that you can play and follow a narrative path with them, and also a little painting guide.
The painting guides are great. No, the painting guides, the War Crow one was actually fantastic, and they're as good as in this from what I've seen. It's so good. I don't know who you're getting to do them, but they're fantastic.
Oh, it's made by our own in-house. Another Carlos from Corvus Belli.
Carlos AVA 5 now in Corvus Belli, or still 4?
Carlos number 4.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I'm just going to have to take it off my thing. So there you go. Hopefully that has wet your whistle for what's coming with the big book 4N5. Obviously, stunning artwork throughout, but really interesting to see the narrative push forward again within the Infinity Universe. And we'll see what happens in the long run there. I'm sure there's many more twists and turns to come. Let us know what you think below and whether or not you've checked out page
110. But you've shown the image, but when I opened it, first of all, the shock. The shock.
The shock, the horror, the love. It's all there.
It's all here, yeah.
Anyway, we must be off. We've got to get that book out of his hands. Otherwise, it's never going back with Carlos. Until next time, bye-bye.
It's Infinity N5 week, and we have 3 Operation Sandtrap Battle Packs to be won. We will choose 3 winners, 1 from the comments on our YouTube videos, 1 from the comments on OnTableTop.com, and 1 from our Cult of Games members, so you guys get an extra chance to win.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it, go on.